Lights off, doors locked, and no one working. It's a sight we've seen across the Carolinas at businesses. Soon, those empty salons and gyms could reopen in South Carolina. South Carolina Governor Henry McMaster is expected to make an announcement about those businesses today. The state is already in phase one, allowing people to dine in at restaurants up to 50% capacity inside. Let's turn now to Greg Suskin. He has been talking with local businesses and residents about possibly entering phase two in all of this. And Greg, do people think that this is actually a good idea?
Well, it really depends on who you talk to, but these businesses, the governor's been reopening these businesses about once a week. It was only a week ago today that they opened restaurants for outdoor seating. Then, of course, today's the first day restaurants are open for indoor seating at half capacity, and we're expected to hear an announcement from the governor this afternoon about these places, like this nail salon here behind me, hair salons, gyms, places like that have not yet opened. This salon has a sign right in the door that says temporarily closed to help flatten the curve. Well, signs like that could come down very soon. Let's take a look at some video right now. We did go by some salons in Rock Hill today, and one salon has been closed down for almost 8 weeks now. They shut down back in March before they were required to shut down, just for the safety of their own employees and their clients as well. They've literally missed hundreds of appointments with clients during this time and are eager to reopen. We don't have a date yet on what the governor's going to announce as far as a reopening goes, but typically the way these news conferences go, it's generally no more than a day or two after a news conference when you see these businesses start to reopen. We also would expect to hear a pretty detailed plan about what kind of restrictions for social distancing that these businesses are going to have to abide by, at least for the short term. Some other states nearby, Georgia, Alabama, have already taken these steps and opened some of these same kinds of businesses with those restrictions in place. Now, I will tell you that whenever the governor's been asked about why these steps are being taken fairly quickly, a week or less apart, he always comes back to social distancing, saying he's gotten a lot of compliance, cooperation with social distancing, but there is certainly no doubt at all that the business community has put a good deal of pressure on the governor and state officials to get back to business as usual. Back to you. All
right, thank you, Greg. And we know that you'll be following this decision today and will bring us live coverage again at 5 o'clock. We'll see you then. Well, as I mentioned, dine-in seating is now allowed at restaurants across South Carolina. Restaurants that chose to reopen will have to keep tables and chairs 6 to 8 feet apart and operate at 50% capacity. They also have to remove condiments like salt and pepper off the tables. Well, also starting today, Atrium Health is offering antibody testing to businesses who want to know if their employees have had the virus. The test will tell whether the person developed antibodies to the virus. A positive result means that they had it and got over it and are no longer contagious. And starting today, daycares across North Carolina can start re-enrolling some children as part of phase one of Governor Cooper's plan. Coming up at 12:30, we'll break down the criteria you have to meet before your child goes back to daycare. And the big question as the Carolinas slowly reopen, are cases increasing? Well, today, North Carolina topped 15,000 positive cases. The state is doing more testing, now completing 195,865 tests. 464 people are still in the hospital right now. And we won't get an update from South Carolina for a few more hours, but here's where things stand right now. South Carolina has half as many cases as North Carolina. Well, Atrium is doing testing in 2 Charlotte locations today. The mobile units will be at Silver Mountain Baptist Church on West Arrowwood Road and Project 658 on Central Avenue. Both spots are open until 4 p.m. today, and you don't need an appointment. Well, it's no secret many people aren't flying right now, but for those who are still traveling, possibly for work, you could soon have to get your temperature checked before getting on the airplane. Airlines for America represents several big air carriers. It says it would back the TSA checking the temperatures of passengers and some members of flight crews. Frontier Airlines says it will be doing that starting June 1st. Well, some airlines like American Airlines are requiring both passengers and flight crews to wear masks. Some people are speaking out about this picture right here. Take a look here. Taken on board a United Airlines flight. Now take a close look here. You can see the flight from New Jersey to San Francisco is just packed. Well, a doctor took this photo saying United told him it would be blocking middle seats to improve social distancing. But that's not what happened. United responded saying it had 25 additional medical professionals flying for free and asked everyone to wear masks. Well, you might remember this video just from last month. An American Airlines passenger recorded it before her flight took off from New York to Charlotte. It shows the flight full of people and not everyone wearing a mask. Well, the Trump administration is working to stop a potential coronavirus outbreak inside the White House. 2 staffers have recently tested positive, leaving officials uneasy. Jacqueline Fell reports on the new safety measures.
The vice president's press secretary and a presidential valet have both tested positive for coronavirus. 3 of the nation's leading health experts on the White House coronavirus task force are now self-isolating in some form after coming in contact with the VP spokeswoman. However, the vice president's office put out a statement saying he will not alter his routine or self-quarantine. He and President Trump are now being tested every day. White House officials say they are putting in place additional procedures to further limit staffers' exposure. That includes increasing rapid testing and temperature checks. The White House says anyone who is going to be in close proximity of the president is already being tested. Very few people, including President Trump, wear masks at the White House. This despite his administration urging Americans to wear face coverings as a safety precaution. Reporting outside Washington, Jacqueline Fell, Channel 9 Eyewitness News.